Were you this knowledgeable and this spiritual in a way when you were 18 years old?
My grandfather was a spiritual man. He was a faith healer and a medium. He was a gunner in the Second World War. He lost his wife when she was 50. Instead of turning against God, he went towards his faith. And when you talk about Bros and the money lost, people forget in the middle of the whole thing, my sister was killed. So, not to bring it down, but I could give a shit about losing money, making money. If God allows me to sing my heart out, and when I see a grown man cry, which I do on a regular basis, when I sing The Day We Met, because the song is about new beginnings for a person that's maybe broken up with their wife or broken up with somebody they love, and they have to have the courage to face that next day and put the left foot in front of their right foot. They're things that interest me. If I am blessed to have money along the way, I can tell you now, I have to still work for my living. I can't retire. Would I like to be in a situation where I can retire? Yes.
I don't know about that, because you're so good at what you do and you seem to enjoy it so much.
No, but I wouldn't retire. What I mean is the freedom where I can always make within my own self, my own moral compass. You know what I mean? I'd like, when you have the right amount of money, you can make decisions that you truly want to make. Sometimes when you're not financially secure, you have to make compromises and decisions that you may not have made. I've been there. Now, you know, it's either it is shit or bust, you know, and I've chosen to self-invest and make something that I truly believe in, and that's what I mean. I mean, do I want, like any other person, to have the freedom just to say, hey mum, go on a cruise for 6 months? Yeah, of course I want to do that, you know, and whenever I can spoil the people I love, then I will. But money, it's absurd to me. It doesn't have anything to do with music. It's just a guy sitting on the sidewalk that moves you on a subway, and he's playing a song, and he's moving to you. Do you give a shit how much money he's got in his wallet? It doesn't matter. What matters is if you believe that the person singing that song is authentic. I can give you my word, when it comes to singing, I'm as authentic as a man can be.
Where I am fascinated, without getting too philosophical, is how you get over bitterness, because that's something I struggle with in my life. This is a tough business. You've already mentioned that. Life is hard. I mean, you talk about your sister, the tragedies that you go through. I wish I were a better person, that I could be as magnanimous as you are in sort of seeing the positive light and walking towards it, opposed to being angry at why it happened. That's a hard life thing, isn't it?
I think, you know, I have a tattoo on my arm that says never waste good agony. For a songwriter, for a journalist, for any of us, if we can truly know the best outcome when you're in pain, is to try and create something from it, rather than wallow in stuff. Because at the end of the day, if a girlfriend hurts you or a boyfriend hurts you, and you allow that pain to continue. I broke up recently a couple of years ago from a 10-year relationship. I could be bitter and assume every single woman's going to do the same thing or whatever, but I don't. It's an injustice to somebody, and it wastes time. There's a word to me called acceptance. I accept it, and I have to just try and find, because I know really I'm the only one that's going to be in peril and not benefit from the situation. I honestly think that when you can find, going back to what I said before, wanting the person next to you to do well, and say, hey, you do the same for me, you got my back, loyalty, everything kind of somehow is lubricated. And you know, as James Taylor says, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. You know, if one of your friends needs some help, don't wait for them to ask. Notice, because that rids you of that. Destroys somebody's pride and dignity. Like if you think, try and notice when somebody needs something. Don't even know why I'm saying this, but I think that what I've been grateful for in my life, when somebody just says, "Hey, are you okay?" or, you know, life is far more fun that way, I give you my word.
And of course the ultimate revenge in any negativity that happens in your life is success, and that's really what you've proved, is that through the good times, the bad times, you're still here, you're still current. I go back to what I said originally, which is remarkable.
What's the one thing we can't do without? It's our next breath. I mean, whether we like it or not, our health, our next breath is, you know, there's a thing, you know, sometimes I tell people to take the deepest breath they can, because it oxygenates your blood and it actually puts things in perspective, because we forget that one thing. It's the only thing we cannot do without, whether we are in pain, because really, if you love somebody and you miss them, like which I've been in that situation, there's nothing really quite as incredible as life. And I have, who knows, man, I hope this interview comes to fruition, and in regards to that, I get to have another interview with you, and you said, hey, you know, people love this record. So some people they're like, how can somebody just be so obsessed about a record? It's because it's, you know, I wanted to call the record 900 Days because it's like 900 days of my life of you know, and but that's what I'm blessed for, that there is something in my life that I'm passionate about.
Thank you for talking to me again. It's always nice seeing you. You are genuinely a nice guy. The way that you treat people around this casino is inspiring, and so many could learn from it. The way you've come back to fight another day is inspirational in itself. I mean, to get your own room named in Vegas, who gets that? Who gets to do 2 shows a week to sell out crowds? Congratulations on being you. Let's do this again when we hear the album. I can't wait to hear it. It sounds remarkable, and to put all that into it, it would be very easy to sit back and just be Matt Goss, because there are people who will have you on any program who will offer you big bucks, which won't ultimately get you where you want to be, which is on a stage with a microphone entertaining your punters, isn't it?
I think I have it's the working class mentality where, and I think it's probably a very British mentality, is that as much as I would like to say to you, sit here and say to you, I don't care. I love my country. I represent my country every single day in my own way. Anyone around you would tell you that I'm a proud Brit, and I do care, and I would love my lot to have a good old listen to what I've been doing, and I think it'll all make sense once you ever listen.
Thank you so much for talking to me again. It's always fascinating hearing your thoughts and being you. I mean, you're just so generous to everybody around you, and I think that comes with age. And I think with having your fame so young, at this point, what are you now, 65, 67, something like so I've offended you, haven't I? Sitting here 20 years later, it proves that you can still be doing it at the top of your game in the world's entertainment capital. On the billboard there, you've got Celine Dion and Rod Stewart and Elton John, and you're there with them as I stood at the box office. That is unbelievable, isn't it?
It's, you know, driving in, you saw the portrait at the front with those people. It's still unbelievable. But I think that you either want to be a star or you want to be a singer. I want to be a singer, and if the stardom comes along with that, then I'm a blessed man.
My final question: would you like my avocado? I don't want it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Matt Goss, lovely to talk to you again. Thank you very much.
Much love to everyone. Thanks, mate.